Hello children, good morning. Welcome for today's biology class. So today we are going to continue the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants. So that is Morphology of Flower. We are going to see the continuation. So today mainly we are going to focus upon parts of flower. What are the various parts of flower we are going to study today. So you know the various parts of flower you study in lower class itself. So androecium, gynoecium, androecium no, that is male portion. Gynoecium is the female portion. Corolla is the colorful structure. Calyx and pedicel by means of which the flower no, it is attached to the stem portion. This is calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. Okay, so whatever flower available in your locality, you can take out and you can do dissection and you try to separate petal, sepals, androecium, gynoecium, everything, and you try to display children. Okay. So now let us see the various parts of the flower. So first it is calyx. So calyx, it is outermost whorl, that is green in color. So members of this calyx, no, you call that as sepals. So sepals are green in color and they are looking like leaf. They actually, what is the function of calyx? It protects the flower in bud stage. So during bud stage, it protects the flower. So and the calyx, no, when you observe carefully, it can be united that you call that as gamosepalous. If it is free, you call that as palisepalous. You see the diagram here. So one datura flower is there. Can you observe? So here this is the green color portion, that is sepal. It is united. Okay. So here sepals also united, petals also united. In hibiscus flower, sepals, no, you can see it is united here, but petals are separate. So petals, no, when you pluck, it will come out separately. So accordingly, the petals and sepals, no, either it can be united or it can be free. So when it is united sepals, you call that as gamosepalous, and when it is free, when it is not united, that you call that as polysepalous. The same way in the case of petals also, united petals you call that as gamopetalous. Okay, when it is free petals, you call that as polypetalous. So the petals, mainly the corolla, it consists of petals. It is bright colored and it attracts the insects for pollination. Mainly the purpose of corolla, no, it is helpful to attract the insects for pollination. And you see the color of corolla, it varies. Every flower, it is having its own distinction, and it, no, the color, it varies from flower to flower. Okay, so here it can be, once again, the shape of the corolla also vary, the petal shape also vary. So the how they unite, no, that also it vary. It can be tubular or bell shaped or funnel shaped or wheel shaped, like that. The corolla, it is varying in colors also and it is varying in shapes also. Next is androecium. So this androecium, it composes, no, stamens. It is the male reproductive portion. So each stamen, it consists of a stalk, that is mainly, that is you call that as filament and anther. Okay, stalk, that is, no, you can see here it is the stalk portion. So here the stalk portion, and you can see the anther, it is in the yellow color one, and the anther is the yellow color one, and the stalk, no, it is looking like a filament. It is male reproductive organ. So when you observe the anther, no, it is bilobed. Two lobes are there, and each lobe, it consists of two chambers, and the chambers you call that as pollen sacs, and the pollen grains are produced in pollen sacs. Okay, normally the stamen, so they produce pollen grains, stamen, but anyhow sometimes, no, it can be sterile also. When it is sterile stamen, you call that as staminode. The stamens, it can be arrangement also, it varies. So it can be epipetalous. In the case of brinjal flower, you can observe this. Here it is attached with the petals. Epiphyllous, when it is attached to perianth. What is perianth? When there is no distinction between petal and sepal, you call that as perianth. Okay, when along with perianth it is attached, you call that as epiphyllous. Epipetalous means when it is attached with the petals. When the stamens, it can be epipetalous or epiphyllous. And it can be polyandrous also. So whether the polyandrous means when they are free, you call that as polyandrous. Okay, polyandrous, and it can be united also. And how are they united? and the union also it vary. It can be in one bundle or two bundles or more than one bundle. If the stamens are seen in one bundle, you call that as monadelphous. In the case of hibiscus. Now, so all you can together it is united and it forms a tube-like structure. Can you observe here? All the stamens are united and on the tube-like structure it is present. So, when it is present like that, you call that as monadelphous. Or sometimes it can be in two bundles. In the case of pea plant, you can observe that you call that as diadelphous. Or more than two bundles, that you call that as polydelphous. In the case of citrus fruits and all, you can observe that. Sometimes when you observe the pollens, it can be the filament size, it can be same size. Sometimes the variation of the filament can be there. The length of the filament also it varies. So not always it is uniform. You observe the flower, whatever available in the locality, you observe and try to find out how the stamens are located. Okay, what is the type of calyx, or what is the calyx type, whether it is united or free, or the color of the petal, whether it is united or free. You try to observe and you try to find out, children. Okay, so mustard and salvia are coming under this category, where the length of the filament it varies. This datura flower you must have seen on the roadsides, and the China rose, it is hibiscus flower. So it is very easily available flowers, children. You try to get and you dissect the flower and try to segregate various portions. Okay, this is the anther. You can see this is filament. This is the ovary. It is cross section. This type of cutting also you can do. So this is the ovary portion. You can cut. There is no CS. Cross section you can cut and you can observe. Gynoecium, that is the female reproductive part of the flower. So it is made up of more than one carpel. So what is carpel? So carpel, it consists of one ovary. Okay, ovary, style, stigma. That you call that as carpel. It can be only one carpel. So here we have seen in that flower, hibiscus flower, there is only one carpel is there. Sometimes it can be more than one carpel also. Okay, the carpel it consists of what? Stigma, style and ovary. So ovary is the enlarged portion. You can observe here, ovary is the enlarged portion. Next is style, then stigma. You can see the stigma, 5 velvety structures will be there in the case of hibiscus. What is the purpose of stigma? The stigma, it is the receptive structure for pollen grains. And through the style, the pollen grain will pass and ultimately it reaches the ovary. In the ovary, ovules will be there. On fertilization, ovules will be converted into seeds. Okay. So each ovary, it bears more than one ovules. When you see in the case of mango, only one seed is there. If you go for pea, more than one ovules are there. So all these ovules, they are attached to a flattened structure that you call that as placenta. By means of this placenta, they get the nutrition from the mother plant. Okay, so with carpel also, I told you, maybe one carpel is present. So, and sometimes more than one carpel. So, when there is more than one carpel, it can be free, not united, and sometimes it can be fused. When it is fused, you call that as syncarpus. When it is free, you call that as apocarpus. In case of lotus and rose, you can see apocarpus. Syncarpus we can observe in the case of mustard, tomatoes and all. So, after fertilization, the ovules develop into seeds and the ovary it develops into fruit. Okay, so we studied different type of floral parts, petal, sepal. So, petals together you call that as corolla. Okay, and the sepals also we studied together as it is known as calyx. Then androecium, that is the male portion, gynoecium, that is the female portion, children. Okay, so and in the case of flower diagram, you can observe the various portions. It is pedicel. Pedicel is the flower stalk. Okay, so here you can observe it is this is ovary, style and stigma. This together, what it is known as gynoecium, and this is androecium. This is filament and anther. Can you see anther cross section? It has been shown here. You can observe the microsporangium. In the microsporangium, the pollen it get matures. After maturation, it dehisces to liberate. This is the ovary, longitudinal section. It is longitudinal LS. When it is cut in longitudinal section, you call that as LS. You can see the ovules attached by means of placenta. it will be getting attached along with the ovary. Okay, so it is calyx and corolla. So we will conclude up to this, children. So tomorrow we will meet in the next class. So till then you read. If there is any doubt, you can contact me. Thank you, children.